आंखें मिला के तुम मुझे क्या कहोगी सोचा था मैंने तुम आ रही थी आंखें मिला के तुम मुझे क्या कहोगी सोचा था मैंने तुम आ रही थी आंखें मिला के तुम मुझे क्या कहोगी
Thank you, Santosh. Okay, see you. Yeah, 15, 20 minutes or something.
No problem, I'm here.
Alrighty. Hi there. This is incredible Kalinjar Fort on a hot, hot day in April. Look at this. This is just the beginning. It is a massive site, a ruined city that was occupied by many different empires, civilizations over the course of literally thousands of years from BC until the British occupation. We have a meditating monkey. So many battles took place at this site on this mountaintop. A very well fortified, strategic location, of course. And now abandoned to time and weather and the elements, slowly but surely tearing it apart piece by piece. As my taxi driver there, Santosh, mentioned, the stones used in the building of the temples of Khajuraho came from this area. That is where we just drove from. I stayed in Khajuraho for 6 days and then arranged this taxi ride. Kalinjar Fort has been on my travel list to visit for many, many years since the first time that I heard about it. And so this time, back in India, I plan to finally make the journey happen. I didn't quite realize where it was located. I thought it might be more out of the way. I was planning to do this route that I'm doing now, starting in Delhi. So there you can see the fort wall, and then it drops off there, it looks like, and goes down into the valley. So I'm going to talk about an assortment of different things related to India as I explore around here, because there's a lot to see and I don't want it to just be images of the fort with music or whatever. Instead, I will walk around and provide information. Raja Aman Singh Palace, double-storied rectangular building built of undressed stones, the palace of Raja Aman Singh. So this route that I'm doing, starting my trip in Delhi, is really the ultimate Indian adventure, going from Delhi to Varanasi. That is where I will end up in the next few days or so. Now, of course, the most direct way to do it is catch a train or a bus from Delhi to Varanasi. It will be a long journey, a day's train or bus ride. You will see some interesting views from the train or the bus, but there isn't a whole lot to stop and see along the way, typical Indian towns and cities. But there is another very different route you can do, which is what I'm doing now. And so I will detail the different places to visit on this out of the way back route that I am taking. And so you start in Delhi. Of course, you can do it the opposite way, start in Varanasi and go the other direction, heading west and north. But if you start in Delhi, then you might want to stop, of course, at the Taj Mahal in Agra. Straight south of Delhi, take a train or a bus. I recommend a train. And then from there, continue south. And you could stop at Gwalior. Incredible, massive fort there as well. Then keep on going south to Jhansi, which is just a place to stop if you're taking the train or maybe a bus, and then catch a rickshaw to Orcha. So I showed Orcha in previous videos, an amazing small town that was the capital of an empire and is scattered with absolutely beautiful temples, forts, palaces, a river, really interesting countryside to explore. And then from there, then go next to Khajuraho. Now, getting to Khajuraho and also especially to Kalinjar is not as easy as the route from, for example, Delhi to Agra or to Gwalior or Jhansi, because it is not a major populated area. It is just, small towns and villages mostly out here. You can't just go to the local bus station and catch a bus going necessarily to the next destination that you want to go to. And so from Orcha, then I was looking at the transportation options. Bus and train are both possible, but in both cases then it will probably mean going back to Jhansi, which is 35 minutes or so from Orcha, so you're backtracking. And then from there, I was talking with the guy at my hotel, and if you want to take buses, then it will be multiple buses going from Jhansi to Khajuraho, getting off at various towns and then changing to the next bus. And so that is going to be a really long, intense journey, especially in the crazy heat that is going on now. The train is a much better option. There's a train straight from Jhansi to Khajuraho, but it was not going the next afternoon when I wanted to leave Orcha because it was full up. I think it goes every day, but there's like a middle of the night train and then a middle of the afternoon train. And so I decided to just catch a taxi from Orcha to Khajuraho. That one costs 3,800 rupees, and then it just takes a few hours rather than all day. Okay, let's read a little info about this. The northern side of the Koti Tirth, a mosque, okay, known as Patthar Mahal. Islam Shah, the son of Sher Shah, in 1545, had constructed this building in memory of Kalinjar victory and his coronation. The most important Sanskrit inscription engraved is of Pratap Rudradeva of Vikram Samvat 1483 CE. Not sure why there is the two dates there, but this is referencing, of course, the Muslim or Mughal period of Kalinjar fort. a mosque, but that is actually the late history, because Kalinjar Fort here is apparently referenced in Buddhist texts describing the life of the Buddha. So going back hundreds of years BC, then there was something here, not these same structures, of course. The fort as it is now, in some sense, was apparently constructed or started construction around like 400 or so AD. And then many phases of building and changing hands between various empires. And so from Khajuraho, then I wanted to visit Kalinjar Fort. I thought that it might be quite out of the way, and then looked on a map and realized it is right on the way. It is actually out of the way. There would be a more direct, or at least quicker way to go, because the roads getting here are very rough. And so here you have Sanskrit Indian writing, it looks like. But a mosque was referenced. I'm not sure exactly what is the mosque. This doesn't really seem like a mosque. And so that is, of course, the Mughal Muslim culture. And so there are going to be various remnants of the different empires that occupied the fort. Big old block. Maybe it was going this way at one time. Maybe there's something else that's the mosque that we'll see soon. And so Kalinjar Fort here, it turns out, is conveniently located right on the way going from Khajuraho to the little town that I'm going to next of Chitrakoot. I have been there previously. I've done this whole route before. I was there in 2000 on my first trip to India, and again in 2013. So I'm retracing my steps on this entire route, except for Kalinjar here is the one place that I've been so far that I hadn't been before. But it is such a just spectacular, really cool route to take, seeing some of the best of India, and with less hassle than, you know, Jaipur and then into Rajasthan, which is, you know, also just amazing. But this is kind of a less well-known region. There isn't a whole lot of traffic. It is like countryside with little towns and villages, and so a very, very interesting route to get a real taste of Indian history and architecture. I mean, from the fort here to the Khajuraho temples is such a big difference. Okay, I guess this is the mosque. Let's go ahead and get inside here. So I'm going to stop here in the shade and munch on some lunch. I have some samosa here with the sauce. It was just 20 rupees, which is about 25 cents US. And then I have some more snacks and drinks in the bag here. And of course, water. Always water. Must bring water, especially on crazy hot days. I don't know what it is, 107, 8, 9, 10, something like that. But anytime you're adventuring, then water in the backpack is an essential. In my water bottle. So if you want to visit Kalinjar Fort, then you pretty much have to do it with a taxi. It is technically possible to take buses. We did pass a few buses on the way here. If you have the time and are up for that sort of a just hardcore adventure, it will be multiple buses, and then you get to the town of Kalinjar, which is at the bottom of the mountain here, and then take a rickshaw up here, and then you'll have to get out of here. But a much easier and more efficient way to do it is taking the taxi. And so later today, we will end up in Chitrakoot, and that is where I will stop for the night. So I guess this is the mosque. It is quite small. That's an understatement. It's more like a little tiny shrine. So not exactly sure, but it certainly looks mosque-like from the outside. Definitely one of the most fascinating Indian ruins that I've seen. And just the vastness of it, so much to explore here. There are many more buildings scattered in various areas. Alright, let's get back to the car and we will drive to another area of the fort. So, from Chitrakoot, then you can easily catch a bus going to Allahabad. Changed its name. I forget what the new name is. There is a wave of name changing of cities in India. And then from Allahabad, then you are on the Grand Trunk Road, which is like the oldest road in the world, going from, I think, Bangladesh to like Afghanistan, something like that. And it runs through the main cities of India, Varanasi, Allahabad, Delhi, etc. And it is just this insane area, this highly populated region, and the roads are jam-packed. I will be experiencing that soon, so that will be interesting to see, and quite a contrast to the back route here. And then from Allahabad, then you take a bus or train to Varanasi, and of course can continue from there wherever you like. But if you do it this back way, then it can take a few weeks, however long you want to spend.